Hi there, and welcome to The Awakened Heart, a podcast for healing women. This is a place where your voice matters, your body is sacred, and your journey home to yourself is honored no matter how winding the road. I'm Autumn Moran, licensed professional counselor in the state of Texas, life coach in America and in the world, 500-hour trained yoga instructor, lots of other labels I could give myself, but ultimately I'm here to be your companion on this messy, sacred path we talk about and we call healing. Today's episode is for anyone who's ever been told to calm down when your body was screaming, for anyone who's forced themselves to act fine when you were barely holding it together, and especially for those of us who have learned to perform calm to keep other people comfortable. Oof. Today we're talking about regulation, but not the kind that requires you to shrink, suppress, or even disappear. I'm talking about regulating without forcing calm. Finding peace without bypassing your truth. And how to work with your nervous system, not against it, in a way that's trauma-informed and, as always, neurodivergent affirming, right? That's importante. Gotta keep these two lenses all the time. All right, let's just begin with a breath. Let's take a beat here for a second. Inhale through your nose when you're ready. Hold it up at the top. Open that mouth and slowly exhale. Feel your body in the space you're in. Notice if your shoulders want to soften. Notice if your jaws need unclenching. You're here. You're safe. Let's get into it. Let's first start with a truth that doesn't really get said much, or doesn't even get said enough. Regulation is not about looking calm. It's about feeling safe. We live in a culture that confuses stillness with healing and silence with maturity. But for so many of us, especially those with trauma histories and neurodivergent wiring, calm doesn't always feel safe. So let's redefine regulation if we can, right? Regulation is the ability to be present with what's happening in your body and responding in a way that supports your safety, your integrity, and your connection to yourself. It's not getting over it. It's not becoming unbothered. It's knowing how to be with yourself, your fear, your fire, your grief, your anger, without abandoning yourself. So let's slow it down for a minute because I want to give you a more grounded understanding of what I mean when I talk about regulation. And I want to talk about it through the lens of the polyvagal theory. The polyvagal theory was developed and it helps explain why we feel safe, why we shut down, why we feel anxious or connected, especially in responses to stress, trauma, or social interactions. It's all about your automatic nervous system, which works behind the scenes to constantly scan your environment for cues of safety or danger. Your nervous system has three main states, not just two like we're used to when you think about the classic fight or flight model, right? So simply put, I'll break it down and beyond fight or flight, right? Sympathetic state. This is your fight or flight. This is your body getting activated to deal with a perceived threat. You could feel racing thoughts or a pounding heart, start to feel restless, a sense of urgency, some anger, rage, panic. This state is all about mobilization. Your body is getting you ready to run or fight. For some of us, especially with ADHD or trauma, this might feel quite familiar, even addictive. It's where we overwork, overexplain, or spiral. Second up is the dorsal vagal state. This is your freeze or shutdown. This is the opposite of fight or flight. This is where your system has decided that the threat is too overwhelming to fight, so it shuts down. So you might experience numbness, brain fog, fatigue, feeling disconnected, feeling like you're underwater or like you're disappearing. For many of us, especially if you've ever felt trapped or powerless, this state becomes default. It's not laziness, it's your body protecting you. It's your nervous system protecting you from overwhelm. And then thirdly is the ventral vagal state. This is where you're safe and connected. This is your regulated state. But not because you're calm and quiet. You might be laughing, crying, dancing, or speaking up. The key here is that you feel present. You feel supported and connected to yourself and others. In this state, your body can rest. You can think clearly, you can play, create, and relate. You're not fighting or freezing, you're just flowing. But the goal of regulation isn't to stay in the ventral vagal state 24/7. Life doesn't work like that, unfortunately, right? We're not in a utopian society. The real goal is to move between states with flexibility and safety, to recognize when you're activated or shut down, and offer yourself what you need to come back home to yourself. So I like to say, and this is not original, but I take it from G.I. Joe. I was raised in the 80s and my brothers watched it, but like knowing is half the battle. Once you have that self-awareness, once you have the awareness of what your body's experiencing and what you're going through, then you can make plans. Then you can take action steps. I mean, awareness is key. This is why forced doesn't calm us down. This is why forced calm doesn't work. Because it's not about looking peaceful. It's about actually feeling safe. And that's safe in your body, not your performance. You know, you feel safe because you're going in and acknowledging this fear, acknowledging the fire, and tending to it, or breathing through it, regulating in some way. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. The goal isn't to stay calm all the time. It's to move through the states with awareness, with compassion, and with flexibility. For many trauma survivors, the nervous system is always looking for a threat. For many neurodivergent women, regulation doesn't come from stillness. It might come from movement. It might come from stimming or making a sound. So let me give you some real examples, like a woman masking overstimulation in a grocery store by smiling politely while dissociating inside. Girl, the grocery store, if it's busy, it can be an overstimulation from jump. Do not be afraid to find a quiet aisle or a corner. Take a few deep breaths, name what you see, look at all the colors around, the objects around, maybe people watch for a second. Just regulate. Have some headphones in, listen to a podcast, an audiobook, or your favorite playlist. Noise canceling headphones if you just need the silence. And if you don't care and if you're not worried and it's bright and that overstimulates you, put some sunglasses on, like be in your own world. It's all a-okay. And then also I think the loop earplugs are great. They have the latest ones where you can adjust them depending on the environment you're in or how much noise canceling effects you need. So there are ways to go about this without faking it, without masking, without shutting down when you get in the car or blowing up when you get in the car. Or how about me as a therapist? What if I'm forcing myself to meditate every morning, even though my body wants me to dance or cry first? I'm just performing, right? I'm just saying this is what works, but not tapping into myself and saying, hey, what works for you right now? Or a mom trying to co-regulate with her child using a calm voice while ignoring the heat of her own unacknowledged rage, right? Like being a parent or being in a partnership and trying to co-regulate when you yourself are losing it or overwhelmed or wanting to shut down. These are moments when we're trying to regulate, but doing so by ignoring what our body is actually asking for. So let's talk about what happens when we force calm. Because the wellness world often tells us to regulate, but doesn't tell us that doing it authentically can actually cause harm. That's backwards. Doing it inauthentically can actually cause harm. Therapist model, right? Me meditating when my body really wants to dance or just let out some emotion and cry. I'm overwhelmed. When you force calm, you often are doing it for others. It's performance-based. To avoid judgment, to avoid losing connection, to keep the peace, to be the good girl, the mature one, the regulated healer. But here's what you lose when you fake the calm. You lose your truth, you lose your sense of safety, and often we lose our connection with our bodies. Forced calm is a survival tactic. It's often born from childhood environments where crying was unsafe, anger was punished, our emotions made us invisible. And especially for neurodivergent women, forced to calm is often just another name for masking, right? Be small, be pretty, fit in, don't stand out, don't say anything weird, don't make the wrong comment, do what everyone else does to fit in. Then you'll find a good guy. You don't need to perform peace to deserve love. You don't need to be palatable to be safe. You don't need to suppress your truth to be worthy of staying. Here's what I want you to hear loud and clear. Bang, 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 knock, knock, knock. Remember this. Regulation that cost you your truth is not regulation. It's dissociation dressed up as self-control. I'll say it again because I knocked, so that means it's important. Regulation that cost you your truth is not regulation. It's dissociation dressed up as self-care. So let's shift into some real tools, right? Let's see, okay, thanks for the info, but now what? What do I do? Not tools for bypassing, but tools for being with your body in a way that honors your truth and builds your capacity over time. So tool number one, sometimes regulation means moving what wants to move. Trauma is stored in the body when we don't get to complete our stress response. That means shaking, crying, screaming into a pillow, stomping your feet, punching a mattress, or humming loudly aren't meltdowns. They're medicine. So try this. Try to play a song and let your body move how it wants. Shake your hands until they tingle. Let out a low hum from your chest. Let your teeth touch each other and just hum. Feel the vibration. Rock side to side like you're holding on to your own inner child. Rocking a baby, soothing a child. Your nervous system isn't asking for perfection. It's simply asking for you to be present. Second up, name it without fixing it. Sometimes we feel dysregulated because we're trying too hard to be okay. So let yourself name what's true without trying to clean it up. Say it out loud. I feel anxious, and that's allowed. I'm overwhelmed and I don't need to solve it yet. I want to scream at my kiddo, at my partner, at myself, at the world. And I love myself anyway. Name the feeling. Give it some room. Give it some space. Let it breathe. Let it be held. Honor it. See it. Acknowledge it. Yes, it is hard. Yes, this is tough right now. I see you. Journaling. Voice notes, just turning on the recorder and talking. Even whispering your truth to yourself in a bathroom mirror or a bathroom stall at work can be revolutionary. You don't need to be fine. You just have to be honest. Yeah, bitch, it's hard. Don't tell me to push through. Don't tell me to get over it. Don't tell me to grow up, or don't should me to be in some other way. This is how I feel. Acknowledge that. Let me have that. Validate my feelings. Up next, safety. Regulation is about creating conditions for safety, not chasing the appearance of stillness. So this is where I encourage you to create a sensory toolkit, right? A weighted blanket, some essential oils, scents that ground you, a playlist that matches your mood, a ritual you can return to when your day goes sideways, like lighting a candle and sitting in silence, having tea next to a window or outside, walking out in nature, having a meditative shower where the water just runs off all the stress down the drain. Make it as visual as you like, whatever color you'd like that stress to be. Anything that just helps you look at yourself and say, girl, that was hard. Let's release. Let's take a moment. Let's let it out. I love you. For some of us, calm doesn't come from quiet. It comes from being supported. So ask yourself, what helps me feel safe, not small? Try swapping the words calm down with I'm here with you. You're allowed to feel this. I'm allowed to feel this. What do I need in this moment to feel more whole, to feel more safe within myself? Let's take a nice deep breath together. If you are available, if you're not doing anything and your hands are free, feel free to put one hand on your heart, one hand on your womb, or anywhere that feels comfortable. And let's speak to our nervous system with gentleness. Make sure you're calmly inhaling and exhaling whatever feels good to you at your own pace. And quietly repeat or loudly repeat however you'd like. You don't have to be calm to be loved. I don't have to be calm to be loved. I don't have to be calm to be healing. I don't have to be calm to be safe. Here's some thought prompts, journal prompts, whichever one you'd like. What have you been calling regulation that's actually suppression? Where are you suppressing yourself? If something jumps to your mind, I would encourage you to take micro agency, micro choices, and do one small step to suppress just a little less. What does true safety feel like in my body? When was the last time you thought about that? What does that feel like? What does safety feel? Depending where you are in your healing journey or just in your journey, you may not know what safety feels like. That may be foreign. So I encourage you to start getting to know yourself so that you can answer this question better. And I'm going to start simple and see if I can dive deeper, but off the top of my head, like trying all the foods and deciding what foods are good and not for you. Trying all clothing styles and seeing what's good or not for you, what feels good for you. Trying new shades of makeup and see what works for you and what doesn't, what you do and don't like, not what everyone else likes. Hairstyles, nail polish colors, pajamas. Just get to know yourself. And then when you find things that feel safe, that feel good, that feel aligned with you, there's your answer. That's your safety. What's one secure, honest, and affirming way you can show up for yourself this week? Just one way. How can you show up for yourself this week? To take a moment to just be with you, to feel safe within yourself. You can regulate without pretending. You can find peace without erasing yourself. And you can be tender with your nervous system without betraying your emotions. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If this episode stirred something in you, a memory, a truth, or even a question, I'd love to hear about it. Message me in the show notes or on Instagram at Empowering Wellness Hub and let me know what came up. If you're craving more support for your healing journey, head to my link tree. I got a Spotify playlist made for women healing through softness and strength. I love it. I listen to it all the time. I got a boundaries audio bundle, if you'd like, and more resources to guide you home to your voice, to your body, and ultimately your power. And if you're listening and thinking, I wish I had someone to walk me through this, I want you to know that's exactly what I do. I offer private sessions virtually for therapy and life coaching. Whether you're healing from trauma, navigating a big life shift, or just ready to come home to yourself. It's my honor to hold space for women just like you every week. If that's something you're curious about, you can fill out a consultation request via my Linktree, along with all the other goodies that I've listed. You are never too much, my dear. You're not too late, and you're not too far gone. And you don't have to figure it all out. Until next time, may you be happy and free. May mine and your healing ripple outward to bless the world with happiness and freedom. Take care of you, and I'll see you soon.